Hello and welcome to I'm going to call it 41 and 42 because I did the exact same thing as I did last episode where I forgot/got busy for the span of 2 weeks. So sorry if this is super late because there's clearly so many of you that are chomping at the bit to listen to my rambles every week. If you are new, welcome. This is a fairly short podcast where I, Duncan, ramble or rant about what I watched in the last week, or this week is going to be 2 weeks worth, but limited series, TV, movies, and as I usually say, this is more of a companion podcast to the Movie Bros. So if you're looking for something A, longer, B, an actual conversation between two people, and C, about one specific movie, not however many I decide to watch in a week, I'd say check that out. That is posted actually weekly with my brother Hayden. But that's what this is. You can find this podcast probably on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, and Apple. If I did the back end part of this correctly, I have no idea. However, that's kind of what this is. All right, I think looking through my letterboxes again, I've been traveling, so I went out of town for some friends' bachelor stuff, and then I was out of town for a work trip. And just I don't know, life has gotten busy. I've gotten back more into reading and or listening to audiobooks. Uh, yeah, either way, I haven't watched a ton of stuff in the last 2 weeks. So even though this is a 2 week full episode, this will still be pretty dang short. So I started my week on on Havoc. So this is a 2025 release. This is uh, Tom Hardy, kind of in the underbelly of a uh, undisclosed city. It doesn't exactly say where they're at, but it could really be any kind of grungy looking metropolitan area. He is a cop, but kind of crooked, but still sort of. I feel like this trope is done many times before, but this is directed by Gareth Evans. I didn't really know him, but if you look at his filmography, apparently his films The Raid and The Raid 2 are very well known for action. And this has actually, uh, it is Netflix, so they don't actually have to censor anything, and it's a lot of fun. Was it definitely like the right move to watch on an airplane? Yeah, I don't think I would sit down or even go to a movie to watch this, but it was a fun watch. I would call it a very fine, very solid 3 out of 5. Like, definitely not a bad movie, but definitely not a good movie. Um, yeah, and then I was gone for a number of days, and I came back and just I don't know, wanted something comforting, and I had missed the anniversary of it being in theaters again, even though Hayden and I just rewatched it for the Movie Bros. But I rewatched Pride and Prejudice. Such a like a warm, not even wholesome, just I don't know. Very very much enjoy this. Uh, Keira Knightley, Matthew McFadden, the whole love story of them. Yeah, I get it. I get the whole. Uh, I don't know. It's not even an obsession. I feel like, or the cult following, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I enjoy it. Again, that was from 2025 for Havoc to 2005 for Pride and Prejudice. So it's kind of crazy how much can happen in 20 years. But and then I jumped to 2019 and rewatched because again I have seen this before. But this is called The Vast of Night. This is an Amazon Prime movie or a Studios movie. And I had watched this when it first came out. I don't even remember how it was recommended to me, but I watched it and really enjoyed it. And then forgot about it. And then Hayden and I were talking about what we should watch for the Movie Bros. And I said, "Oh, this was pretty cool." And Hayden's a big fan of The Twilight Zone, and this whole movie basically acts as like an episode of The Twilight Zone. It's lots of fun. It's very creative. It's all about the writing and the cinematography for this. So there's really good writing, and there's really a lot of interesting shots. But it also definitely does feel like someone's first major uh, film worked on. So there are some drawbacks. I mean, obviously, Hayden and I just spent 30 or so minutes just chatting about this. So if you want to hear the full kind of breakdown on that, I'd say The Movie Bros just posted that yesterday, the day before. So I'd say take a look at that. And all of these films are rated based on a 5-star scale, including half stars. So it's really out of 10. This is on Letterboxd. It's kind of the film rating, reviewing, social media-ish app that I use. It's pretty well known. So if you're ever curious, you can take a look at that. And then I kind of ended my week because week, plural, singular, I don't know. I just haven't had a ton of time to just sit in front of a movie screen. So this has been on my watch list for a while. I like the concept. This is called One Night in Miami in 2020. This is directed by Regina King. This is uh, kind of her main credit as a director. I mean, if you look at her acting chops, she's been in a ton. I mean, she's a well-known actress, but this is kind of her first main big movie. It's about uh, Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Jim Brown, and Sam Cooke all hanging out together one night in Miami. It's real people, but in a fictitious story. It was good. Again, I feel like it could have been great. Obviously, there are some standout bits. Um, Leslie Odom Jr. as Sam Cooke, really good. Um, Aldous Hodge as Jim Brown was there, but it was. I feel like the real, I don't want to say conflict, but the real conflict was between Ellie Gorey, who played Muhammad Ali, Kingsley Ben Adir, who played Malcolm X, and Leslie Odom Jr. There was some strife between the friends. I like the time period. Obviously, I can only relate so much to all the civil rights stuff, but it's interesting to learn about. Uh, yeah, interesting concept. I just wish, I don't know, there's something lacking, and I can't put I don't know if it was just the lack of direction. Like it felt like maybe she could have done more, or maybe it was the writing. Maybe it was I think maybe just the story itself. Like you put four guys. Basically, it's just most of the movie is them in this hotel room talking, which can be interesting. But there are times where I'm like, okay, it's we're still here. All right. So that was how I guess ended my week/2 weeks between episodes. So that was a 3 out of 5. Maybe call it. I'd call it a 3.5 because I feel like I would definitely put it higher than Havoc this week. Um, yeah. On a personal note, what else has happened since it's been 2 weeks? Yeah, I went to Arizona with some friends. It's hot as shit there. It's nice to visit, but I do not think I could ever live there. Jesus Christ. And then I came back and then immediately basically left for Anacortes, where I did some field work for one of my other jobs, like my scuba zoo job. Um, I applied and registered and all that stuff for UW for some continuing education stuff for project management work. Because for the longest time, um, I don't know. So my dad is sort of a project manager. He's a change manager, which is like a subsection. And I don't know if it's nature or nurture, but the whole not wanting to do what your parents do, not following their like setting out on their own, being independent. Sure, I was like, oh fuck that, I don't want to do that. And then I don't know. I just recently I realized just how large of an umbrella PMP, which is the Project Management Professional Certification, like how many jobs that covers. So no, I'm not sure where this is going to go, but I figure if I don't do anything different from year to year, it's going to be this. I can't expect anything different, and not that these last year or two of not teaching scuba full time hasn't been nice about actual like work life balance, but um, yeah, I want something, I don't know, more for myself, which the current jobs are not giving me, both financially or like I don't know, my drive to do things or like push the business forward. Which yeah, I don't know. I have lots of opinions about small business owners. So yeah, that's in the works. I think I don't start class till late August or something like that, but had to register now, or else I wouldn't get a seat. So I'm looking forward to that. gonna get that going. What else? Regular old work's happening. Um, yeah, I would say, obviously, thanks for listening to this. You can check out the Movie Bros to listen to it. The last episode was The Vast of Night. I believe next week is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which is like an early 2000s, I would say, slept on action movie. It's very fun. It's kind of the closest thing to a superhero movie before the age of the superhero movies. So I don't know a lot of it if it's childhood. No, it may not be like an amazing movie, and Hayden and I obviously will spend a whole episode talking about it, but it's a lot of fun. So I'd say watch for that, and you can also, I think, check that out on Tubi. I think that's where it's streaming. But if you think there's anything I should be watching or not watching or anything like that, obviously reach out, and I'll hopefully, again, fingers crossed, that I can get back in the swing of things. But I will be back on a regularly scheduled episode next week.